hate the music that the Google's Pictures puts up. It's so shitty. I had to turn it all down, even though there's my dad. This is the rock. I had rods in it. I made like an orgone pyramid egg. It had a giant egg inside of it, and stuff was filled with it. But it washed away. I guess she found it and brought it back up. It's my dad fishing. She was fishing there on the same spot. How interesting. Didn't know that yesterday. Know it now today. She was wanting to hatch this egg. I'm like, I don't think you're going to be able to hatch it. I was like, fine, fuck it. We'll do it. I know whose magic it is. It's my magic. The one who hatched the egg, fine. But I brought it down and gave it to the grandpa root. And it wasn't any good, so it wasn't going to hatch. So there. I didn't want to be an asshole, and then I baptized myself. This fucking Google shit, I swear, their music is so horrible that they put on here. It's not even worth it. So this is when we first moved out here. It was really nice. But we have been out here 8 years, or 9. This will be going on 9 years. Yeah, how about it? Work. Can they both go? So yeah, there was some sort of egg, and she found it, and she's like, maybe one of the chickens got out and put the egg. I was like, no. Wrong. Wherever it was in the road, or it had just appeared. And I'm like, well, if it's not got a chicken on it, sitting on it, and it's out in the yard, just anywhere, it's like, throw it away, get it out of the house. And then I realized that I had done all this egg stuff over the years. That was, so I gave it to the, underneath the grapevine, and it exploded because it wasn't any good, like I said. I threw it in there and it exploded, and I smelled it. It wasn't any good. But if you just find an egg, I was like, it's either witchcraft, somebody's, yours if you don't know, and you've put it out there, because it looked like her eggs that she has in the refrigerator. One of those. The chicken's eggs look different than that. This looked like a store egg. But anyway, the thing that she had dug up that I've got back in the front woods was on the rocks out there, because I concreted it, but that didn't last. And I had a giant egg in it, like a giant plastic egg was inside of it, loaded with a bunch of stuff, bunch of orgone stuff. And I went out there yesterday, and the Saturn was like right underneath the that ring of rocks, is, we call it the hot tub. And if you looked using the planet thing, you could see that Saturn was underneath it. And it was pretty wild, because Saturn was like, as soon as I went in there and I had lit a fire, I tried to cross out there, and I had this picture of the anti-sprite, the Ajiji, and it was like a monster that was flying through space, and it was eating stuff like an antiparticle or something. And I had some poem on the back that was relevant, so I burnt it on top of my rock, and then I set some piece of wood that was drying on the thing, and it lit, so it was burning like an incense. It looked really cool. I went in the rocks, baptized myself, got on the rocks in the front where I've got the prayer, and where I, did my dad's ashes. And I lined up east and west, north and south, prayed, meditated, and then got the fuck out of there and came up. And it was like having I know it put me in a very wonderful state of mind, where I keep saying extraordinary state of mind, because that's what it felt like. It was extraordinary. I don't give a shit if anybody has a problem with that. It was pretty extraordinary. And then came up, and I've been in a good mood. most of the time, because even though I'm not able to get the job yet that I want, one of these jobs, I'm trying to get one of these remote jobs. I've been doing a lot of things as if I were to leave here that I guess my subconscious at least wants me to be able to do or get done. You know, doing some of the grid work. And that's what it is. It's grid work. It is. I wish my eyes would light. Both of them, but good morning. Showing that because that's what it is. That's uh, the thing that's concreted or was, and it rained and washed it off of the rocks, was underneath the front of the rocks, and she dug it out, brought it all the way up to the top, and it had been so many years. What does it say? 8? It says 9 years. Well, so it had to. That was like the first year we stayed out here. Um, so it was there. That's where it was. Food for thought. All right, later. Get out of here and try to wake up. Try to wake up.